It's February 11th, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have faces appearing where none should exist, faith abandoning its own throne, and a mind that left poetry sharper than the life that produced it. Let's begin. On February 11th, 1832, William H. Mumler was born, a man whose photographs would one day convince thousands that the dead could still be seen. Mumler was an engraver working in New York when something strange happened. While developing a simple self-portrait, a second figure appeared behind him, the faint outline of his deceased cousin. Mumler claimed it was an accident, but word spread fast. In the aftermath of the Civil War, grief filled the nation. Families desperate for closure lined up at his studio, hoping to get a glimpse of lost sons, wives, and husbands. His most famous image showed Mary Todd Lincoln seated quietly while the ghost of Abraham Lincoln loomed behind her. Skeptics accused Mumler of exploiting sorrow. He was arrested and put on trial for fraud, and even the legendary showman P.T. Barnum testified against him. Yet the court acquitted him. His photographs were later exposed as fakes, but the damage was done. For decades, his images circulated as proof that death was not the end, only a veil thin enough to photograph. Mumler may have mastered double exposure, but he also exposed something deeper, how far human grief will go. On February 11th, 2013, the world stopped when Pope Benedict XVI spoke a few quiet words and shattered nearly 6 centuries of tradition. In a calm announcement delivered in Latin, the 85-year-old pontiff revealed that he would resign his papacy, an act no pope had chosen freely since Gregory XII in 1415. For the Catholic Church, it was the unthinkable. Popes don't step down, they rule until death. Benedict cited failing strength of mind and body, but behind the Vatican walls, pressure was mounting. Confidential documents had been leaked in the VatiLeaks scandal, exposing power struggles, corruption, and bitter interfighting at the heart of the Church. Ongoing abuse scandals had already eroded the world's trust. Benedict later hinted that the Church had been disfigured from within. Just hours after his announcement, lightning struck the dome of St. Peter's Basilica, illuminating the night sky in an omen, some said, of a church in turmoil. On February 28th, Benedict vanished by helicopter, becoming the first Pope Emerist. Weeks later, Pope Francis was elected, while 2 popes quietly lived behind the same walls. In breaking tradition, Benedict quietly proved that the oldest institutions are not always immune to fracture. On February 11th, 1963, the world quietly lost a voice that would only grow louder after it was gone. That morning in London, Sylvia Plath, a poet whose words burned with clarity and pain, died at just 30 years old. Outside her small flat, the city was locked in one of the coldest winters in decades. Plath had been inside, writing relentlessly, often before dawn, producing poems that would later become Ariel. In the final moments leading to her death, Plath faced crushing isolation. Her marriage to Ted Hughes had collapsed. She was raising 2 young children alone and battling severe depression. Watching her novel, The Bell, enter the world with little fanfare. She struggled with mental illness for much of her life, but she also worked fiercely to protect those around her, ensuring her children were safe before she was gone. In death, Plath became something she never was fully in life, widely heard. Her poetry, once overlooked, ignited readers across generations. In 1982, she became the first winner of the Pulitzer Prize after death, and her work helped define confessional poetry. Raw, unfiltered, and unsettlingly honest. The poem she left behind would travel further than her voice ever could. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next Eerie dose is just a day away.